Hello everyone, welcome back to Georgia Paper Crafts. I wanted to do a quick run through of the new Simon Says Stamp Home Sweet Home July 2020 card kit of the month, and then I'm going to get to making some cards. So starting out, we've got, let's see, one 6x8 stamp set. This is called Home Sweet Home, and as you can see it has a row of homes here. Almost this is big enough to fit on a slimline card if you wanted to do that. A lot of good sentiments, plain here with some flags or banners that it could, you know, carry. So a really neat stamp set there. Then, boy, I'm just having a hard time today, sorry. Then we've got the dies here. This is Simon Says Stamp CZ Design postage dies, and so there's 3 together, kind of like a large, medium, and small, and you can cut them apart, and they almost cut like a large postage stamp size. Got a bunch of envelopes here. Looks like I've got, let's see, 2 metallic, silver, white, 1 mini white, a soft navy, and a cotton candy. Lots of envelopes this time. Got 1 mini jar of Cosmic Shimmer Gilded Avocado Opal Blaze Polish. I've never used this before, but looking forward to maybe giving it a try. Got 1 of the mini Distress ink cubes in the newest color, Speckled Egg. I have the regular Distress ink cube for this, but glad I got the mini one. Then we've got 12 single-sided sheets of the Waffle Flower Special Delivery paper. These are 6x8, and it looks like some of these you could even just cut it in half and use it as a front of a card if you wanted to. Some bright prints, some clouds and florals, birds. There's some cut aparts. You could use those die cuts to cut apart these. And then we have some cardstock. So here we have some, let's see what I'm supposed to get. Cardstocks are Cotton Candy Smoke Soft Navy and 1 sheet of Nina Solar White. And I actually got what I was supposed to get this time. Sorry, usually I don't, but I got the navy, the smoke, the cotton candy, and the white. So, all right, great. I'm gonna go ahead and get started making cards. So starting out here, I took the piece with the cut aparts and I cut them out using some of these the dies that came, the postage dies that came in the set. And what I realized pretty quickly is that they weren't exact, so it didn't cut out great. So a lot of times I had to trim around it. I skipped right past that, didn't I? But I went ahead and cut them out. Now I'm taking a piece of the pattern paper with all the different small images on there, and I'm adhering that to some pink, that's Tim Holtz metallic pink cardstock, and I backed it with that, and now I'm just adhering it onto a card base, which I had put down a piece of green cardstock from my stash. I'm bringing in the largest of the pieces that I cut out, along with 2 of the smaller ones. Now, after getting started with this kit, I realized that I was struggling with it a little bit. I didn't feel like this kit gave me a lot of options for cards. Felt like I had to make a lot of the same type of cards. I mean, they were cute and the images are cute, but did not give me a lot of options, so I didn't feel very inspired by this kit, to be honest with you. And you'll kind of see that in my cards, because I don't think they were anything real special, which is a little disappointing, definitely, but you know, it is what it is, and I was still able to make 10 cards, and I'll show you those. So I'm not sure how much I'll reach for all of these stamps, and the card stock was not my favorite. I don't like bright yellows like that. But anyway, so moving on, I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed the sentiment "Welcome to your new home" on there, and I am attaching the die cut piece with the two birds with the letter, and I popped that up, and I had backed that with some of the well, I double backed it with some green cardstock and some of the metallic pink cardstock. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop this one up, put one flat, and then I'm popping this one up. I'm going to add just a heart, an enamel heart in the center. It's actually a metallic heart. It's not enamel. And that is in the color of silver. And that's pretty much it for this one. I'm going to add some of the Tonic Nouveau shimmer pen to the birds, and I'll also add some Tonic Pink Nouveau drops to the center of the flower, and that's it. So moving on to the next card, I decided to cut apart a piece of the paper, the pattern paper, that on each end it had the you know, large image of the birds with the letter and looking like a postage stamp. And I cut that apart, and I'm just cutting it down, both of them down, and I'm going to mat each piece. So I'm going to mat this pink one here, and then I believe I also have a blue one, or whatever color that, like a light blue one. And I did both the same. These are very easy to make. Like I say, not really hard to do, but made simple cards. So the blue one I did on the pink, and then this pink one I did on the gray. I'm going to attach them both to pre-made A2 size card bases, and then I'm just going to kind of, doll it up. Here I'm using a pink colored pen. This is one of my Stella pink pens I brought out from my stash, and I'm just kind of going in there with a little bit of shimmer, pink shimmer, along the flowers, just to kind of, like I say, make them stand out just a little bit more. And I'm going to use a little bit of blue onto the leaves. I haven't played with these in a long time, so I bring it out. And then, of course, I'll bring in my clear Nouveau shimmer pen for the big bird there. And of course, this is actually liquid pearls from Ranger in color pink. And once I'm finished with that, I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the inside, and it says "Love and Hugs Enclosed." And I used my Distress Oxide in the color of Speckled Egg, which I owned previously, to stamp that on the inside. Okay, so now moving on, I decided that I wanted to do some stamping. So I stamped out the long house image here, and I am stamping that along the it's just an A2 size front. Actually, it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and color this in using my Tombow markers. I know that if you've watched some of my videos, you've probably seen me do this tons of times, where I put just a little bit of color down, and then I'll pull it out using some clean paintbrush and some water. You could also use a water brush. That would probably be even easier. And I'm just going to proceed to do this here. I'm going to let you watch me. I'm gonna color all of the houses and everything in a blue tone, and then I will decide to make the background a grayish tone. I'll also color in the plane in the banner that it's carrying that says thinking of you along with the sun. Like I say, using these Tombow markers, this has been one thing that I've really liked to do. And I know I use them a lot, and I should switch up what I like to use. But once I started using this, I really found it was just so easy to get such a pretty look, um, that it was hard for me to kind of switch from to a lot of different mediums. I will use some of my Copic markers later on, but for some reason, like I say, this has been my go-to. Just filling everything in. And I didn't continue having you watch me. So I said that the background was going to be gray. It's actually a light blue. Sorry about that. Once I was finished coloring it, of course, I'm adhering it with some foam adhesive onto a pre-made A2 size card base. I'm going to bring in my Tonic Nouveau Shimmer pen just to fill in the hearts and the banner and the sky, give it a little bit of pop of shimmer. I'm going to bring in my Nouveau Crystal Glaze just to kind of give it a glazed look, much like glossy accents over the hearts. Decided to also put that on the banner. And a little bit on the sun, I think right in the center. And that's it. Now moving on to my next card. What I'm showing you here is I had already previously stamped out a bunch of images. I put a bunch of stuff together, and as you'll see here coming up, I cut and paste and use some of this, some of it I don't. So the next card came together by using the cloud pattern paper. Cut that out, just a regular A2 size, fit the whole card base. Then I had off-screen colored some more of the house images, and I cut them out using just a thin white border, leaving just a thin white border. And now I'm going to come in and stamp the sentiment. I think it's home is where the Wi-Fi automatically connects. And so I did that. I stamped some of the images of kind of the sound waves. And then I popped up the house images with some foam adhesive, and I adhered them on there. Just going in with a white gel pen just to bring in some added dimension. And that's it for this card. Very simple. Next one, I had already also cut and, colored off screen the house images, and I used all Copic markers, and then I used one of my BG markers, light BG markers, to color the background. I am backing that piece with a piece of the navy cardstock and adhering it to the card base. Again, coming in with my white gel pen just to add a little bit of not shadows, but highlights. And this one that says welcome to your new home, and I like the houses in different colors. That's pretty much it. Again, not real original. So now here I am bringing in some of the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide or Distress ink. I personally have a large ink pad, so I'm using that instead of the small one, and I'm just using the cloud builder. I believe this one is this one from Lawn Fawn. I am so sorry, I don't know right offhand, but I'll definitely look it up.
stencil, cloud stencil builder, just to make all of these clouds, just kind of going around rotating the stencil and coloring it using the speckled egg, distress ink. Trying to get it all the way to the bottom there. And then I realized, oh, well, it matches. So it must be the lawn fawn one, because I know that they have one that you can use as a stencil to color, but also mask. So and then pretty much what I did there was more coloring, gray coloring of the houses, put another of the planes with a banner, and that's it. All right, so moving on to the next card. Again, I started having problems trying to decide what I wanted to do. I wasn't real inspired by any of this. So I decided I tried to do a little paper piecing of the houses. And I chose this pink floral piece and a yellow floral piece. And yeah, I know houses aren't pink and yellow floral, but in my card imagination they are. So, you know, it's okay. It'll be good. And then I went ahead and cut these out. Like I say, cut them out right on the edge there. And I'm going to paper piece this onto a pre-made card base that has the whole stamped image there, the village. I'm just going to paper piece them on there. So I'm going to use the yellow and then the pink and then the yellow and then pink. Use another cloud builder die just to put a little bit of a cloudy haze over the sky there. And I don't really care too much that if I go over the images, because I am going to cover them with the paper piecing. So keep going here. I think this is a different cloud builder stencil. I think that one was from MFT. I'm going to go around all these edges with my black memento marker just to kind of, get rid of the ugly cut edge from my cutting and make it look a little bit cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these straight down using my glue. So there's my two yellow. I'm going to bring in my pinks. And I'm going to color, kind of do a little bit of shading with my C markers just to help them kind of seem like they're blending in. And I'm bringing in a darker C marker there just to kind of go over the edges. In reality, as I look at this, you can barely tell that it's a floral pattern. You mostly see just the color. Just kind of, like I say, adding a little bit of dimension and depth here to the houses. Like I say, I'm going to color in the hedges with some green. I think I did color in that lamppost there, probably with a little bit of a gray. And the flag. I'm going to cut off the excess there. Just kind of going over everything to kind of make it pop a little bit more with my black graphic pen there. Going over the windows, helping it stand out just a little bit more. And I'm going to pick a sentiment here to put down. I'm going to bring out my Mini Misty to help me get this lined up and stamped well. And the sentiment, let's see, what did I choose? No matter how far apart you are, you're always in my heart. And I'm stamping that with the speckled distress oxide, my distress oxide ink, as they give a better stamped image than just the distress ink. I also put one of the metallic hearts there along with some stamped birds. So moving on to my last two cards. So again, this was very simply done. I just took one of my small rectangle dies and cut out the two images here in the green and the yellow. And then I backed them onto some card bases. For this one, I used some of the green pattern paper as a background and some of the busy patterned paper as a piece across, and I put some gems on the center of the flowers. Now for the pink one here, I did pretty much the same, but used a scallop border to back it, and then put a piece of the pink pattern paper behind that. I also used gems for the flowers here. So here's a quick look at all of my cards. Again, I don't think there was a lot of variation in these cards. I struggled a little bit. I hope that you do like some of them and you have gotten some inspiration from these cards. I'd love to know which one you like the most. And as always, I truly do appreciate you sticking with me and watching my videos. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with this, but I'm glad it's finally done. So thanks again, and I hope to see you back. Take care.